Hello, everybody. Welcome to another free English conversation class offered here at Approach. My name is Carter, and today we have a great topic. We'll be talking about work, life, and the balance of all of it. So, if I have you on YouTube and you'd like to join our Zoom call, I would love to talk to you today. We can share some stories about our previous jobs and our goals for the future. So if you would like to scan this QR code, that will allow us to speak directly to each other. We got a few people.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello. How are we today?
Oh, I'm fine. And you, Carter?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Great.
All right. Awesome. Yeah, we got a good amount of people. All right. Today, again, we'll be talking about work, jobs, and the balance of life between just about everything. I'm excited to share with all of you a little bit of my background and plans for the future. But to get started today, I think it would be fun if we can all share what our very first job ever was. And after we talk for a little bit, I will share with you a couple of my first jobs. All right, so we'll head back to Zoom. If anybody would like to share, what was your very first job?
Hi, can I start?
Of course. Hi, Julia.
Hi, nice to meet you. My first job was a babysitter for my niece Rafaela. I taking care of her when I was 17. She was born when I was 16, and then I take care of her in our house.
Awesome. So helping out the family, doing some babysitting. That
Yes,
sounds like fun.
babysitting.
Cool. And today, do you still maybe work or do any work involving children?
No, I work in a financial area.
Cool.
I work with invoices.
So invoices. I just wanted to hear that
Uh,
correct.
it's like a one area in financial work where how could I describe this? It's a little is a little hard to me to explain what can I say at this moment. Um, it's like I sorry, I can't explain.
That's okay. My future, I'm planning on also doing a little bit of finance down the line. And, I can speak English and I have a very difficult time explaining a lot of finance too. So definitely do not worry about it. It can be a little bit tricky. That's really cool though. And do you like your job right now?
At this moment, I am employee, but I looking for a new job in the area, or a financial area, or in CI projects. I looking for a new opportunity.
Ah, very cool. And could you please tell me, what country are you from?
I'm from Brazil.
Awesome. Ah, very cool. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Awesome. Fernando, would you like to share? What was your very first job?
Okay, hi everyone. Hi, Julia. years, 6 years, yes. And this was my first job, and now I work with another job.
Very cool. So you were at your first job for 6 years. Um,
6 years, yes.
okay. And you must have enjoyed it if you were there for so long.
Yes, a little bit. I learned so many things, and I enjoy it.
Cool. Oh, it's awesome. Thank you for sharing, Fernando. I appreciate it.
Okay, all right.
Cool. Tulsi, do you have something to share? Your very first job. Okay. Well, we're sorry, Tulsi. We're having a little bit of a difficult time hearing you. But if you would like, you could type in the chat and I could read it to everybody if you'd like to practice out some writing, and I'd be happy to share for you. But the connection right now is a little bit difficult. But I do appreciate the hand up. We'll try and come back to you later. Cool. Would anybody else like to share what your very first job was? Fareed.
Hi everyone, I am teacher. So I am Farid Morales from Honduras, based in Central America. Um, so I'm very happy to stay with us because I try to speaking my English, and also I want to improve my English. So my first job was in Haiti. In Haiti, I was there when everything. I think is that in 2000 in 2010 I was there, and I worked there with the United Nations. I, so I was there, and I worked with a project. And after the I I I am not very sure about the word, but it's every week, I think it was in 2010. All the house go down and the land move. I don't know what is the correct word for for this natural situation was in Haiti. I work there, and now I work in my store. I am perfume maker, and I am a psychologist, and I am work for a organization is in my country. In my work, in my role in this country is I am the assistant national director.
Wow. Thank you for sharing. I definitely have a lot to ask you about 2010. Were you helping out the United Nations in Haiti after
Yes,
the
yes,
earthquake?
I
Wow.
was in actually. Yes.
Uh, would you mind sharing just maybe your own personal experience being in Haiti after the earthquake? Just,
Uh, yes. So in, in this time in 2010, I was in the school. I was in the medicine school. And I was for for educator. And my parents give to me the opportunity to explain, and also to share my skill, my medicine skill, or my student skill. I was there for year, and this time I work with the with orphan kids in the street. It was beautiful by so I work with kids that have big trouble because they lose the parent, they lose his family, and in this time when I was in Haiti, I changed my rule because I I don't want to continue to study medicine, and I moved to study psychologist because I saw a lot of the problems about mind problem, the emotional problem, and I try to know and also to help the emotional problem to the people. For this reason, I moved to study, and also after that, I I be psychologist, and now I am the parent from 6 kids from Haiti.
Okay, wow. Thank you for sharing. Your English sounds great. And it's a little bit fuzzy over the computer, but the words I'm able to hear, you sound great. And being in Haiti, I think you said for about 1 year. Um,
Yes,
wow, so you were definitely able to do a lot of help and give back to that area of the world following the earthquake. And today, are you still a psychologist today? I missed the ending a little bit.
yeah. Now I have two jobs. Now I work for an organization. This is an orphan organization,
Okay,
and I am now in the front working with kids or with the young or the employees. Uh, I don't making the assistants and psychologists, but my work is administration work, but and also I am a psychology industrial organization master. This is my rule now, and also I have my own business, and I am very involved in different areas, but it's very close to the psychologist. It's not the clinic psychologist, but it's close with the administration and also with the human psychologist.
wow. Uh, that sounds really awesome. Thank you for
Thank you.
sharing. Um,
Thank you.
we'll definitely come back to you too later on. I'm sure that you'll have a lot to share throughout today. Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Cool. Malika, would you like to share? What was your very first job?
Yes, hi teacher, hi everyone. So my very first job was like teaching classical Arabic for child who was more francophone. Yeah, and I recall I was that time I think 15 or 16 years old, and it was not everyday class, so the pay was a bit low, but I couldn't complain at that time because I was still living with my parents. So I was like glad to have like money. Yeah, yes.
Cool. Teaching some Arabic. You said writing?
Classical Arabic. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Arabic. Yeah.
Ah, very cool. And today, are you still teaching, or was that just something in the past?
Today I'm teaching French.
Oh, oh man, very cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I'm always jealous because I get to talk to you guys and all of my students, and everybody I talk to every single day, they can speak multiple languages. Myself, I only know English, and I really wish I had the ability to learn another language, and French. That sounds really cool.
Interesting here, but I think English is like international language, so you have a privilege too.
I would still really love to learn
Yeah.
at least one more by the time I'm older. But that's awesome. I appreciate you sharing.
Thank you.
Very cool. All right, let's head over to the next question for today.
Teacher,
Yes.
I'm from Libya. Uh, uh, I'm from Libya. I speak Arabic. Uh, I learning English good, but speaking not good, not good.
Well, that's
Speaking.
okay.
Can you help me be level one, not two?
Help you with what?
Um, speaking.
Oh, of course. Yeah, if you would like to
Introduce.
would you like to share what your very first job was?
What? Okay, okay. What was your first job?
And yeah, maybe when we're thinking of it, I can share with you guys my very first job. Um, so I did a good amount of work, um, but nothing really official until I turned 18 years old. I would grow up and I would help be a referee for a few different sports just to make a little bit of money. But my first real job was when I turned 18 and I worked at a mountain for skiers, snowboarders, and tubers. Um, at Approach, we are in Massachusetts, which is located in the northeast of the United States. And the winters can be really cold, and we can get a lot of snow. Uh, so, so my very first job, I worked outside, and my job would be to help skiers and snowboarders get up the mountain, either using the chairlift, or there were a few other ways for them to get on top of the mountain so that they could ski down. And it was not my favorite job. It was very cold. I would be outside for a long time. But similar to what we talked about, for a first job, money isn't too important. It's more just being active and, having a little bit of fun. So that was my very first job. And maybe we can go back. That was, who was it? Just talking.
It was Zoom user.
Zoom user. Okay. Alrighty, maybe we can.
I think Momina also shared something, but she didn't.
Okay.
On the far right.
Far right. Oh, right up here. Momina, did you have something to share a little bit earlier?
Yes. My first job, I work as a pharmacy intern. I just looking and studying about the medicine, the side effect, or a medicine. How can be used for 1 year. After that, I start university as a nursing.
Wow.
After graduate, I started the second job as a nurse in a hospital. I worked as a nurse in kidney transplant ward, and now I live in the United States, in Massachusetts, but I'm not working yet. But I'm looking for a job, and I try to improve my English. But I hope after that I can continue my career.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds like a great plan. And you chose a good place in the United States if you would like to be a nurse. Um,
Yes.
Massachusetts, we have some of the greatest healthcare in the entire country. So I'm hoping for you. You'll definitely find a lot of good opportunities and hospitals too in Massachusetts. They allow you to work your way up as well. And I think you'll have a very successful career once you find that next line of work at a hospital. That's really cool. And for me, to be able to learn more about medicine and you said kidney transplants, that sounds like a foreign language even to me. So definitely go easy on yourself with practicing English.
Mhm.
And you do sound very good.
Sir, I have a question.
Yep.
Sir, I know what you say, but when I speak, it's so a little hard to speak. Why?
Oh, you catch that?
Yeah, she's just asking why is it difficult for her to speak English?
Oh, good question. I think it might be a little bit different for everybody. Um, it's a tricky language. English has the most words out of all of them. So I would recommend, being a little bit patient, and just the more we practice, the easier it will become later on. But for today, you definitely sound pretty good. And
Thank you.
and yeah, I'm excited for you becoming a nurse in the United States.
Thank you.
That'll be really cool. All right, we have a few more people now. That's awesome. All right, let's head back over. And for the next question, I think it's interesting to ask, but what advice would you give someone looking for a job? You can pretend that maybe myself, we can imagine, let's pretend I have no idea what I want to do in the future. What could be some helpful advice or tips that you could give me when I begin looking for a new job? Maybe a little bit tricky.
Yeah, we can ask what experience do you have,
Great
and
question.
what kind of job do you want to do?
Yeah,
What
that's
is what is your goals? What's your study?
awesome. Those are all great questions. So yeah, what are you interested in? Maybe what makes you happy? Because when we have to find a job in the future, it's very common that we will be working there for a long time. So personally, I believe that when you look for a job, you should prioritize happiness over just about everything else. Um, I think it's important that many people, they look forward to going to work. Um,
You,
and it can just make life a lot easier and happier in the long run. We
Can
have,
I ask you?
oh, sorry, we have two hands up. Tulsi, would you like to share? What could be some advice that you would give someone who is looking for a job? Oh,
I'm not able.
it's still coming in a little bit choppy.
Right now, am I audible?
Oh, yep, yep, you sound better.
Okay, thank you. So, okay, so I mean, it depends upon the person. If the person is going to have a very first job, if the person is a fresher, so I would like to talk, I would like to give the advice that please, don't, because in India, many students, don't do job because of salary. They demand for high salary. So I will recommend or I will advise the person, please don't think about the salary first. Just think about the experience, like what kind of experience you will get from that job. If you are gaining no knowledge, if you're enhancing your skills, you must do the job. So focus on your skill building thing, where you get the growth. Focus on your career, focus on your growth. So yeah, I'll definitely say this. And for the experienced person, I will advise that I think wherever you're getting happiness, for example, if you're getting peace, if you're getting the meaning, if you think that it is a meaningful job for you, you should you should do that. Example for me, I was working in an official work, like in a corporate line, but I shifted my line towards NGO line, and I felt that earlier I was like doing the mechanic kind of job. It was robotic. There was no it was a monotonous job because you have to sit in front of the laptop and just do all the official work. But when I shifted my career to the social sector, I found more meaning in my work, and I felt very happy, and I felt peace, and I think that I'm working for people, for people's growth. So I think that is what I would recommend and advise. Thank you.
Wow, thank you for sharing. You sounded incredible too, and you mixed in some pretty good vocab. You said the word monotonous in the context of being at work and being a little bit maybe bored or disengaged. Um, Sounded really good. And I agree with just about everything you said. Um, Finding a job that provides meaning and, money and salary. If you're, as long as you're enjoying your job, we all believe that the money will find you. Um, and I really liked your response, and I appreciate you sharing. Sounded great. Thank you very much. Cool. Let's go with, um, we'll go Mushtaba. Sorry, and
Yes,
if you could,
it's Mujtaba.
oh, cool. Um, would you like to share some advice you would
Yeah,
give to somebody who might be looking for a new job?
yes. Hello, everyone. I'm Mujtaba. I'm originally from Afghanistan, and I've been living in the US for 3 years, almost 3 years. So, based on my experience, if you want to have a simple job like to be a cashier or a customer service, you have to look the places that are hiring, like maybe a Starbucks or McDonald's. You have to go in there and talk with the manager. Maybe they do have applications. You have to apply for that online, and then after maybe a month, they will send you an email. Like if you're if you have the requirements, if you have the skills that they want, they will probably hire you. But if you want an important job, like some of the important jobs are like maybe working uh, in an important places. So you have to have like educational skills. and you have to have a resume to apply for that job. And in basic jobs, I don't think you need resume for them. And that's all I know. Thank you so much.
Oh, no, thank you for sharing. That's awesome. And yeah, to talk a little bit more about that too, you brought up some new ideas, how some jobs, they might rely a little bit more on your personal skills. And other jobs might rely a little bit more on having an education or some type of degree, certificate. And that's a really good segue for the next question that we'll talk about. But yeah, you sounded really good, and I appreciate you sharing. I believe it was our first time talking, so thank you. Alrighty. Fernando, would you like to share some advice you might offer someone looking for a job?
Yes. So just a little advice. I think to look for a job, I need just to make some course before look the job. In special, I think it's necessary or it's interesting to make a university to improve, for example, some skill to after look for a job. So my my little advice is to study a little bit to improve your skill to look for a job or a first job. I know that in some cases it's not possible, but if it's possible, my advice is to study a little bit. For example.
Cool. Oh, I appreciate that. Yes, and I agree. There is one thing that is pretty new to the world that can absolutely help us out, maybe learn more about ourselves or try to set us up on the right path for a career in the future, and it would be even ChatGPT. It can be really cool. I'm not sure if anyone here has ever tried it before, but even using ChatGPT and you type into it, for example, "Hi, my name is Carter. I am 26 years old. This is my background work experience. These are some skills that I'm really good at. Here are a few things that I do not want to do in the future." And you tell AI maybe a little bit about yourself. You hit enter, and you will get a line of jobs that maybe you have never heard of before. And that connects really well with Fernando because he was saying that studying is absolutely important when you're trying to find maybe that next opportunity. And there could be jobs that you can be really, really good at, and you might not have any idea that they exist. So maybe if you guys have a little bit of free time in the future, I think you should try that out. Talk to ChatGPT. It sounds silly, it sounds cliche, but it can help a lot of people trying to find meaningful work. So that's really cool. I appreciate you sharing that. Nice. And we'll talk to one more person. Oh, let's make it two more. Malika and then Miriam. So,
Teacher, for me, my advice is to look for a job in which you can like acquire like hard skills and soft skills at the same time. And so, from my humble experience, which I regret, by the way, is that I was employed in like in government because I was like looking for security, not like, but exist, if we can say. Especially because the world now is moving and you need to know more and less like new softwares, new knowledge. My background is accounting and finances, and the tasks were monotonous. You say that they are monotonous.
Awesome.
Yeah, yeah,
Monotonous.
monotonous.
It's a tricky one.
So yeah, so that's why once arrived here in Canada, I find it difficult to find a job, even entry level job. I have some transferable skills, but still I need like some hard skills, if we can say. Um, I yeah, I succeeded to find a job at the end, but as I said, so my advice for youth is to prioritize knowledge rather than just security. Yes.
Wow. That was incredible. I agree with everything you said, and you were reading my mind. You brought up some new terms that we haven't talked about yet: hard skills and soft skills. And you talked about transferable skills. That is actually the very next slide that we'll be looking at, all about hard and soft skills. So you are jumping or a little bit ahead. You sound awesome, and I agree with everything you said. It was really well spoken.
Thank you.
Very cool.
Thank you.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, on that note, let's transition. And here we have those two terms that were just brought up. We have hard skills and we have soft skills. For me, I went to college and I'm actually a business major. And I decided to begin teaching. And there's one thing that teaching has really, really helped me with, and that would be the soft skills. So for a quick definition, a soft skill is something that all of us can get better at. You do not need a college degree. You don't need training. You don't need a certificate. There are things that we can work on every single day, and over time, we can get a lot better. Some examples of soft skills would be communication, teamwork, leadership. You can't go to college to be good at leadership. It's something that you need to work on every single day and rise to the occasion. Soft skills are also transferable, which means if you are pretty good at communication, teamwork, work ethic, you can find just about any job and you can find success. On the flip side, we look at hard skills. Now, these do require some form of degree, certification. An example of a hard skill, which we talked about earlier, we have a student here with us who in the past and still today is a nurse. And she said that she helped out with I believe, a liver transplant. Now,
Sorry.
nope, you're good. Did I get that right, or was it kidney?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And
No.
and with a hard skill, you absolutely need some type of background, a lot of studying, training, and yeah. So when it comes to employment, work, and finding a job that makes you happy, these are the two different skill sets that employers are looking for in every single candidate. So soft skills are things that we can work on every single day and we can get a lot better at over time. And hard skills are those specific ideas or skills that do require maybe a degree, college, more education, certifications, and these are the two different categories. So really cool. This slide, not so much a question, but I did want to discuss a little bit with all of you. But we'll head over now to the next one. And I love teaching this exact topic. My question to you, what is the best way to prepare for a job interview? Maybe you can talk to me about your personal experience, or if you have any ideas, please let me know. I'm happy to give you feedback. So how can we prepare for a job interview? Mara, would you like to share?
Hi, good afternoon. Sure, I can share what I usually do. Usually I just study a lot about the questions they may ask. Like, for example, tell me about yourself, tell me about your experiences, what are your skills, what are the skills that you think it's important for this job, these kind of things. And also I try to study, like I record myself to see how, if I'm smiling, or how is my face, affections. Well, I don't know how to say this.
Facial expressions,
Facial expressions.
perhaps?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So this is what I usually do, and I search a lot about the company, these kind of things. So yes.
Wow, that's perfect. That's a lot of the advice I was ready to share with everybody. No, that's a good thing. So the very first thing you said, going back a little bit, you know that every single job interview, they ask you the same question, at least one. And could you remind us, what is that question they will ask you every single time?
Tell me about yourself and your previous experiences.
Perfect. Please tell me about yourself. And there are so many ways to answer that question. And it can be a little bit difficult, absolutely. But the thing about a job interview, we have time to prepare. We have time to either write down a response, try to memorize it, practice in the mirror so you can look at your facial expressions, eye contact. You also shared the idea that you can record yourself on video and watch the video back. These are all really great techniques, and they have helped a lot of people in the past. I've had the opportunity here at Approach to teach a lot of different business courses, and we would always work on that one question, please tell me about yourself. And what I have learned from doing research and helping my students is that there is a way that we can answer this question in a professional and appropriate manner. And the idea is that you want to keep your response not really short, but you don't want to talk forever. You should have a plan that when somebody asks you, please tell me about yourself, you first respond with a little bit about your past, your work experience, how your past has shaped you to who you are today. You would talk about yourself in the present, how you're performing today, goals you might have for the future, and then you want to talk about exactly that, goals for the future, how you think that you can grow as an employee, and the equation or the model for please tell me about yourself. You talk a little bit about your past, a little bit about yourself right now, and you talk a little bit about yourself in the future. And a great way to get good at practicing that response is to record yourself. And we should try and keep it just a few minutes long, highlighting all the great traits and qualities about yourself. And yeah, that was an incredible answer. Very well said. Thank you. Let's go to Roston. Would you like to share the best way to prepare?
Yes, I do. So I don't have any actual real world experience,
That's
but
okay.
I gave some IELTS mock exams and multiple kind of interviews for um, in my English, but I know some things like we should expect what they really want from us. We should have a level of expectation and be like ready for the common questions that any interviewer would ask us, and we should know our resume very well because we need it. Uh, and We should also control the level of our stress and basically our emotions. We should be calm and well mannered in under pressure because many interviewers would ask some kind of pressured questions and unnormal questions to test our stress level. For example, they ask these kind of questions from anchors, news anchors. So because they will be under pressure when they actually are doing their job. And That's it.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. And I'm pretty sure you will do just fine in your first job interview. Uh, I think you'll be more than good. Um, just hearing you speak, and I agree with everything that you're talking about. When it comes to body language, being calm, confident, how we all deal with stress, that is exactly the right idea here. And I have to ask you again. So, for you, Roston, what would be a job that you would like to work in the future?
Probably anything related to politics. In my youth, I would like to participate in political parties, and in my old when I'm old, uh, I would like to teach what I know. Like I like to teach political science.
Wow, very cool. Political science. I
And
thought,
international relations.
oh, cool.
Mhm.
Wow. Yeah, I would say don't give up on that dream. I think you'd be very good at it just by your, just talking to you for a little bit. I can see the passion. Um, yeah, keep working at it. That sounds awesome. Very cool. Wow. Fernando, would you like to share? Best way to prepare for a job interview?
Okay. I think it is very difficult to say the best way to prepare for a job interview. It is very difficult to give this advice. But in my mind, I list some thought that I think that is very important to a job interview. For example, the first one, it study the enterprise. I think if you have a very difficult to become all the time, but to become, I think it is a way to prepare. And the another way, it's be true. I think we don't need to lie something, some last work, last job. And I think I listed this topic because in my mind, I think the enterprise would like a committed people, committed person. So this is the just some information to best way to prepare for a job interview. Is that?
Awesome. Oh, I agree. Thank you for sharing. And in your response, too, you reminded me of one thing that is also pretty important. We have the internet, right? We can do research on these companies that we would like to work for. And just like how in the beginning of an interview, you will always have the same question: please tell me about yourself. At the end of the interview, 99 times out of 100, the hiring manager or the person giving the interview, they will ask you, do you have any questions for us? And that is an important thing to mention. When we plan and prepare for an interview, we should be writing down questions that we plan to ask the hiring manager or the person conducting our interview. The reason, and even if you already know the answer, ask a question anyways. It shows the hiring manager that you have put in the time, you put in the work, you are really serious about this opportunity, and by asking questions, it can greatly increase your chance of reaching that next round of interviews or even to be hired. Employers really like when they're interviewing people who are asking questions because it shows that they care and that they are taking everything very seriously. So awesome. I appreciate that. Where'd you go? Fernando. But thank you. And we'll talk. Oh, there you are. And Tulsi, best way to prepare for a job interview, if you would like to share.
Yes. So for everything that everyone shared, uh, that was correct. Am I audible? Am I audible to you?
Oh, okay.
Hello?
Yep, I believe so.
Uh, yeah, okay. So first of all, make an attractive resume, and it should have factual things just to impress the interviewer. Don't write any untruthful thing, right? So it should have facts. And for example, if you are not experienced, if you are a fresher, so you should mention if you have done any internship or if you have done any volunteer work to show you like that you are not sitting empty. You're doing something. You have something to share. Or if you haven't done an internship or volunteer work, so you should mention that you have participated in a team, or for example in a project. So you lead or you led some project work. So you have to mention that. And the other thing, and it should be professional. It look like professional, resume. A professional resume means that it should have proper alignment, proper, text are the same. It's not like one is Times New Roman and one is Arial font, like something like that. And your photo, if you are putting the photo, it should not be like a selfie phone. It should like a professional background and all this. But it's up to you if you want to, if you want to do the photo or not on the resume. Other thing that you shared, research. So whatever company you're applying for, research for the company so that you can ask or share, anything can tell you. about the company. And the other thing is because interviewer will ask everything from the resume, so you have to go through it before giving the interview. So you should learn everything, whatever you have written in on the resume. The other thing is during the interview, wear the professional outfit, professional attire, not like you are like wearing fancy or very attractive, a very shiny dress that is very very unusual, and it is very shimmery. Don't wear party wear outfit. And body posture is also important. Don't sit properly. Don't open your legs like cross it. I don't know. You put one cross, one leg to other. And eye contact is very important. The eye contact shows that you are confident. Otherwise, it looks like you're not confident. And yeah, and whenever you enter, greeting is very important.
What?
And yeah, I think then body posture, gesture, these are very, very important things. And also bring all your, keep your documents in a proper folder. Don't like fold it. And please take all the related documents that it is to require to your job, whether it is your certificate, whatever you have. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Yeah, 2 thumbs up. That was incredible. If we were to make a checklist of how to prepare for an interview, check, 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 you hit just about everything. That was a great response. You even mentioned the idea, how you dress, your first interaction, a handshake, bringing a printout of your resume, not folding any papers. You definitely talked about all the little things that make a big difference in the long run. Wow, I'm very impressed. That was a great answer. And my own personal tip, do not show up to an interview with a coffee. Don't bring anything with you except for maybe a laptop, a printout copy of your resume. And the reason we shouldn't bring a coffee, you don't want any distractions during the interview. You are working towards, your future life, your career, and you don't want to miss an opportunity because the coffee spills over or you spill a little bit on yourself and you look unprofessional. Very, very good job today, guys. I'm very impressed with everything we talked about, and I would absolutely be happy to talk more about this in the future too. Great job. And for today, I do believe that we are just about out of time. But if this is something you would like to talk about more in the future, you can let me know maybe in the chat, and we can plan ahead. But again, thank you guys very much for today. This was a great conversation. I even had a few more questions to ask you, but we did a lot of talking, and it was really good. So I'm looking forward to seeing everybody next week, same time on Thursday, and I hope you have a great weekend.